Thank you, Madam Speaker. Can the Premier indicate the following with regard to the emergency button project? 1. What was the rationale to tender for a service provider to create an emergency button when a technology is already available to acquire an off-the-shelf product? 2. Who received the tender, on what basis was it awarded, and what is the size of the awarded tender in financial terms and the number of buttons procured? 3. Explain the technology and parts of the emergency button and how it will work in practice to make Gauteng safer. And last question then, what are the timelines for the rollout of the emergency buttons and where and by whom will it be used? Thank you very much, Madam Speaker.
Honourable Premier.
Thanks so much, Madam Speaker and Member Alberts. Member Alberts, our attempts to ensure that every South African is protected and that those that have smartphones can be in a position to use an e-panic button so that they can be protected when they are under threat or under attack by criminals. It's a very important initiative that we're working together with the law enforcement agencies, the private security firms, as well as the traffic corps and all those that are assigned the task of fighting crime in our province. Thus far, we've got almost 127,000 law enforcement agencies that are ready to support our communities and our citizens in our province, especially those that have installed the emergency e-panic button. The reason why we have to go to the market and not buy off-the-shelf available product is because we've established that there are more than 17 off-the-shelf products. And if we have to choose one without going through a competitive bid, it will affect regulations or Section 217 of the Constitution and SCM processes and procedures. And here are the reason why we felt that we need to go out for a tender so that those that have these products can be in a position to put their bid up front. One is customization. We don't want a general product. We want a product that will be customized to citizens of Gauteng, and a product that will track people of Gauteng, and a product that will be in a position to be functional in our province. Some of the products that we have, or what you call off-the-shelf product, are internationally owned, and it would be very difficult for them to be adapted to the South African or Gauteng situation. Secondly is integration. We want the emergency button to be integrated not only to the police, but to the ambulances, fire sections, and many other institutions of the state that need to respond under emergency. A customized solution will be designated to seamlessly connect three systems, providing a more comprehensive, effective emergency response solution. Number 4, it's security. We want the information that is gathered from our citizens to be protected and to utilize the information for only what it's meant for, rather than expose this information to international organizations that can use this information for other things, rather than the e-panic button mandate that we received from our people. Number 4 is customized data protection. The POPI Act mandates that personal information must be adequately protected. An organization must take appropriate measures to ensure that data privacy and security is protected. By opting for a custom solution, the government or organization can ensure that the emergency button projects aligns precisely with the specific data protection requirements as outlined in POPI. Scalability. The emergency button project is intended to serve a large and growing user base. A custom solution can be designated to be more scalable and adaptable to the changing needs in our province. 6, cost effectiveness. If we go for a competitive bid, we'll be in a position to get better deals out of the bid rather than pulling one off-the-shelf product without necessarily going through a competitive bid, thus subjecting government to a long-term costly contract that might be very difficult for us to pull out. 7, innovation. We are using the e-panic button to create a custom solution that allows for innovation and incorporation of cutting-edge technology. It will enable the development of features and functionalities that are not available in existing off-the-shelf products. In terms of question 2, who received the tender? The initial e-panic buttons procurement was a pilot project that was done through the request for quotation because it was less than 1 million rands, and that went to Onele Innovation through the Department of Community Safety, while the Department of eGov also went to have a bid that will assist them to pilot this particular project within a limited period, and they've also appointed Africa Desk to do that particular work. In terms of question 3, to explain the technology will be as follows. 1, it will have a button interface, and that button interface is the core of the emergency button. It will be a physical where we are using a physical tool, or digital while we are using the smartphone. Number 2 is communication mode. It will assist us to know who has pressed the button so that we avoid fake or misleading e-panic button. With the assistance of the CCTV cameras, but most importantly with the assistance of the smartphone technology, we'll be in a position to identify the owner, and we'll also be in a position to identify if that person is a resident in our area, if that particular person indeed needs assistance. Thirdly is power source. Depending on the application, the emergency button will have a built-in rechargeable battery or be connected to a power source so that people can be in a position to get. There is a battery backup is essential to ensure that the device functions also work through power outages. Number 4 is user identification to ensure that the right response is dispatched to the right person, and we are not going to be misled by those that might want to mislead the law enforcement agencies. Number 5 is alert management software. The emergency button will be linked to a central management system and software that will receive and manage the dispatches to the law enforcement agencies. Number 6 is a response interface. We can speak to the said individual who has pressed the emergency button so that we can check whether they are safe or they need medical help or any other form of help, so that we can collectively then provide the kind of assistance that it works. How the system will work: it will be activated through an emergency button. It will send an alert transmission, and the alert transmission will be received at the call center or integrated command center, and then the team will dispatch for assistance, and the confirmation from the person that requested the help will then be sent, and two-way communication with other law enforcement agencies will be dispersed so that we can be in a position to assist that particular individual. Member Alberts, we are at an advanced stage in the rollout of this program. We are now finalizing the command center that's going to be based in Centurion, and have concluded the appointment of law enforcement agencies within our province, and we're integrating it with other available e-panic buttons so that there can be a synchronized assistance in our province. In total, we'll be in a position to at least assist close to 8 million of the smartphone users in our province, and we are also engaging other telecommunication companies like Telkom, MTN, and Vodacom to make this service free of charge, so that we can be in a position to reach as many people as possible in the townships, informal settlement, hostels, and distressed communities. Thank you once more, Member Alberts, for your question. Truly appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Honourable Alberts, do you have a supplementary question or a short remark?
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and thank you, Premier, for the answer. I just have a short follow-up question. The button will be a very central feature to assist people in emergencies. How would the Premier make sure that the emergencies that were contacted, emergency response units from the South African Police or fire brigades or ambulances or others that might be linked to the button, how would he ensure that they do actually react properly in time as per international standards when a person calls for help? Thank you very much.
Madam Speaker, Member Alberts, we are intending to enter into service delivery agreement with all the law enforcement agencies that need to assist us on this matter. It will be meaningless to invest so much if the e-panic button will not get the necessary support for those that need to come and give them support, especially the police. What we have now is that our police wardens, together with the private security industry and the municipalities, have long all of them agreed to participate in this project. If each and every traffic office of each and every local municipality participate in this program, it means all our communities are covered. In terms of the police and other law enforcement agencies that we need to be part of this, including intelligence community, because some of the information might be utilized by the intelligence community. We are in the process of finalizing that agreement. As soon as we conclude that part of an agreement, we will be in a position to give you the timelines in which everyone must agree to respond to this matter. The pilot project currently, you can go it. If you have a smartphone, you can go now to our App Store or Android and just type Gauteng panic button. And go to Gauteng panic button now. Anedi said MEC Msimang. It means we are going to coalition with you. No. Yeah, I don't want to go with you as well. I don't want to go. Yeah. So I'm saying, if you go there now and have, you will see the panic button is up and running. I can show you now, Member Msima. Here is the panic button. We have it already. No. Members, if you are using Nkatele, I mean we can Nkatele already. I mean you can't use Nkatele for this. Hey. So Member Alberts.
Honourable members, please, we did not raise an issue, please.
People in informal settlement and areas where they don't have smartphone, we are going to give them a hard e-panic button. It's a hard copy. You press it. It has a battery. It's rechargeable. So the problem of Alcatel is that it's cartel, and you can't utilize it where it's difficult. Member Msimang, load shedding will not be a permanent feature, and therefore you can't stop planning about the future purely because you are scared of load shedding. If you have that mentality, then we have to stop everything that we are planning about it. So we will defeat load shedding, and as I'm speaking to you now, the government that I have the honor to lead have just finalized a bid for all government buildings to have solar panels in all their buildings, including the police. And therefore, that particular issue will be defeated in our province before the end of this year. That's the approach that we have taken so that we don't have the limitation that we have. But you can't say because they've stolen my cell phone, I'm no longer going to use my cell phone for life. It does not work that way. Even if they've stolen your television set, you still watch TV. It does not mean if they've stolen your television set, you can't watch TV. So the approach, therefore... So we are, and I will come and I'll address this House colleagues. We are working extraordinarily hard to limit the impact of load shedding in our province. We finalized all the necessary requirements, and I'll have the opportunity to brief this House how we're going to safeguard and protect Gauteng against load shedding. At the right moment, Member Msimang, we will address you and deal with the situation. Thank you so much, Madam Speaker.